Good morning, students. Today I am going to tell you something about importance of bryophytes. It is a class 11th course. Class 11th. See, yesterday in my previous lecture we have discussed about general feature of bryophytes. Today we will be talking about the importance of bryophytes. We will be talking about the importance of bryophytes. See, first of all, these are the 4 points. First is prevention of soil erosion, then second is soil formation, third is water retention, and the fourth one is peat, which we obtain from bryophytes as such. So, let us start with the first point, prevention of soil erosion. See, the first colonizers in any area which is not colonized by any organism is lichens. Lichens are the first colonizers and they solubilize certain rocks, and their next colonizers are bryophytes. Bryophytes are also very simple organism, they are very simple, and they are the second colonizers present in the area. These can utilize this small amount of soil present in the surface area, and they are able to cover the surface area. They form a mat, green mat on the surface area as such. When the rainfall occurs, that the mat present in the area will not allow soil erosion. That is, it will bind the soil particles as such, and it won't allow soil erosion. Naturally, the topmost soil is not lost. So, in a way it is very helpful in order to prevent the soil erosion. Now, let us talk about soil formation. Of course, lichens, as you know, these are the first colonizers, as I have already told you. Now, the second organism which start to surround the soil, or you can say we start to have a next succession. That means after the lichens, bryophytes colonize the particular area. Now these bryophytes, when they die, they have a particular time period. Every organism has a particular time period, and afterwards it dies. So after their death, naturally the decomposition will occur. Now the decomposition will be responsible for formation of soil. Some amount of humus will be left behind in the soil, that is, the organic matter of the bryophytes will be left behind in the soil, and that will be responsible for fertility of the soil. वो किस लिए responsible होता है? सॉइल को सॉइल की फर्टिलिटी बढ़ाता है, सॉइल में ऑर्गेनिक मैटर जो होता है उसको बढ़ाता है. दैट इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर इंक्रीजिंग द ऑर्गेनिक कंटेंट ऑफ द सॉइल. सो नेचुरली इट ऑल्सो हेल्प्स इन सॉइल फॉर्मेशन. ओके, नाउ वाटर रिटेंशन. नाउ इट हैज़ बीन ऑब्जर्व दैट इन केस ऑफ स्फैग्नम, which is a moss, it has a very high water retentivity, at least about 18 to 26 times the mass of its own body. So it can retain water, and that is the reason why it has been used to transport living specimen from one area to the another area. It is useful for transport of living substances because it can retain water, and then it can provide small amount of water to the living matter. In where the living matter is kept, there the sphagnum is also kept, and once it is able to retain the water, it supplies the water to the living organism, and therefore the living organism can maintain their shape and structure. Okay, now let us talk about the peat. The dead and decomposed moss is slowly carbonized, fossilization takes place, and in thousands of years it is converted into a structure which is converted into a structure which is called as peat, or you can say it is converted into a substance which is called as peat. Now this peat is actually it is a good fuel. It can be used as a fuel, FUEL. Now these are the importance of bryophytes. I have already told you the small life history of bryophytes in my previous lecture. You must have remembered that I told you that bryophytes are mainly gametophytic, that the main life cycle of bryophytes is a gametophyte. In that particular life phase, it produces gametes. So male and female gametes are produced in that particular life phase, and then it is followed by a sporophytic phase where zygote formation. After the formation of zygote, there is no meiosis. Meiosis does not occur immediately. So it has both gametophytic and sporophytic phase, but sporophytic phase is a diploid phase and gametophytic phase is a haploid phase. Sporophytic phase depends upon the gametophytic phase, and it is a very small phase. After the formation of zygote, sporophytic phase starts, and you know that zygote is a single cell structure. Multiplication occurs and it forms a whole sporophyte body, and you know inside the capsule meiosis takes place, and these meiosis, the spores which are formed, they get deposited on the soil, and these spores give rise to these spores are actually produced by meiosis. So naturally these are the first cells of the gametophytic phase. So in my next lecture we will be talking about especially about mosses and liverworts. Thank you.